Namaskar. Welcome to your own channel, Untold Story of Unheard Voices as Hamari Kahani, Hamari Zubani, dedicated to all beautiful women. Untold Story of Unheard Voices is a platform dedicated to building healthy relationships, family, and communities which are free from interpersonal, domestic, and sexual violence. To achieve this, we share stories, discuss, empower, delivering a hope to heal through traumatic events. We hold space and empower voices to be heard through their stories, hope to help with intervention, prevention, and advocacy. And I'm your host, Karuna, with our host, Preeti, and our guest, Manish. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Hi Manish. Hi Karuna.
Hello.
Okay.
So today we are going to talk about cybercrime, and here we are, Manish, a good
Yeah,
friend of us. He's going to talk about the cybercrime.
cybercrime. Well, this cybercrime, the definition is too broad nowadays. With the increase of information technology that we have now, and the way new sites, new ways, new channels of interacting with people. Though, if we say cybercrime, how does it start? सबसे पहले तो हमें ये देखना पड़ेगा कि these sites which are made now, if you go towards different social networking sites, matrimonial sites, it's a way of meeting people, making people together, socializing with people. But yeah, when somebody who is not that social or who has another means or motives in his or her mind, they enter this site, and that's the time when this chaos starts. And yes, cybercrime picture में आता है. So basically, there are a lot of people around जो कि social networking sites पे जाते हैं, not just because they want to make friends or they're looking for a life partner, but they have their other own means of earning money, maybe spamming people, or it can be a lot. So there are different kind of cyber crimes. One is related to the financial crime, which we call as spam or scammers. If you might have heard this word, scamsters.
Yes.
The other one is the people who are not after money, but they're after lust
Yes.
and things related to that. And then the third one, people who are just there for fun because they have nothing else to do. The lonely people on the planet.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the people first who are here to earn money,
Yeah.
just by cloning people, pretending that they are the very wise people, but they are really not. So what they really do is there are a lot of social networking sites in the market right now, and I'm sure uh, youth, yeah, people who are born in 70s, 80s, 90s, कोई ना कोई सोशल नेटवर्किंग साइट पे तो ये ज़रूर गए ही होंगे अपनी लाइफ में एक
Right.
बार.
Mm.
सब लोग जाते हैं. कुछ साइट्स ऐसी
Mhm.
होती हैं जो कि बहुत फेमस हो गई हैं, लाइक फेसबुक, Twitter. Twitter, I would not still say that it's a social networking site. It's more about information site for me.
Mhm.
But yeah, Facebook and एक पहले चलती थी Orchid, वो बहुत famous थी. Though it's
That's
not
very
working
very
anymore.
long time back. Yeah.
Yeah, long time back. But
Yeah.
that's when this trend started. Orchid
Mm.
के बाद ही ये trend शुरू हुआ था. In fact, Orchid से ही
Yeah.
शुरू हुआ था.
Yeah.
Or अगर if you go on Google Play or App Store and you just type social networking sites, you're gonna find like thousands of websites. Some that I can name is like Scout, Meet Me, or Baidu. And there are a lot of many different
So many
different
eyes. Yeah.
so many. I mean, just go and see around. A lot of
Yeah.
people go there just because they are too occupied in their professional life that they don't even have time to find a partner for themselves. So they think it's an easy way, just sitting in your living room or lying down on your couch. You can
Yeah.
just find you're just like a click away from your life partner or maybe a good friend.
Yeah. Right.
But एंड में उनके साथ होता कुछ हो रहा है. सो जनरली होता क्या है, व्हेन दे गो ऑन साइट्स लाइक दीज, वहाँ पे दे एनकाउंटर पीपल हु प्रिटेंड टू बी वेरी नाइस, वेरी प्रोफेशनल, वेरी डिसेंट,
Mhm. Yeah.
बट उनकी इंटेंशंस उतनी डिसेंट और उतनी नाइस नहीं होती.
Mhm.
So there is one example that I want to show.
Mhm.
It was about a girl who was from Delhi.
Okay.
She went on a social networking site.
Mhm.
She met a guy who said that he's from London.
Okay.
ठीक है, बात करने में अच्छा था, सब कुछ था. उसने अपना फोटो नहीं दिखाया काफी टाइम तक उसको. और कुछ सोशल नेटवर्किंग साइट्स पे क्या होता है कि देयर इज नो वे ऑफ ओपनिंग वीडियो कैम्स. सो what generally
Right.
people do is go on social networking and then they later on they share their WhatsApp or their Scout, I mean, or their Zoom or maybe any
Different
other app
IDs.
that they're using.
Yeah,
Yeah,
different
different
IDs.
IDs where they can go for a video call. But
Right.
so what happened with this girl was, इन्होंने वहाँ पे बात किया. I will not share the name of the site because
Yeah,
I don't want to.
that is
I don't want
right,
to
right,
name any site to be wrong because these
right.
sites are used for good means too. So generally उसके साथ हुआ क्या फिर कि she met this guy जिसने कहा मैं लंदन से हूँ और बात इन्होंने आगे बढ़ाई. This girl was around 27, 28, and you know the kind of taboo that we have or taboo that we have in our country. 27, 28 girl still single, तो parents का pressure तो रहता ही है. So then she has two options, या तो arrange marriage होगा या मैं खुद ही अपने लिए कोई ढूंढ लूँ. And then
Right.
once a girl from a middle class family from Delhi meets somebody from London, and that too a white guy,
Yeah.
कहीं ना कहीं एक ऑटो अटैचमेंट तो हो ही जाता है कि नहीं यार, अगर इससे हो गया तो बेटर देन गोइंग फॉर एन अरेंज मैरिज, आई विल गो विद समबडी हु इज फ्रॉम लंदन एंड वाइट.
Yes.
ये होता है.
Right.
So अभी फिर then they met on that app, they started talking over there for like a week or so. They shared their WhatsApp and their Facebook as well. Facebook पे भी जो पिक्चर्स लड़के ने अपनी दिखाई थी बिल्कुल सेम थी. बट उसने ये बोला कि दैट आई एम वर्किंग ऑलमोस्ट ऑल नाइट एंड ऑल डे बिकॉज आई एम अर्निंग मनी दिस एंड दैट. सो मैं वीडियो कॉल पे नहीं आऊंगा, मैं वॉइस कॉल कर लेता हूँ बिकॉज साथ साथ में अपना काम करता रहूँगा. ये 4-5 दिन बातें करते रहे आपस में. Then one day that guy actually proposed the girl and girl was so, I mean, happy कि ठीक है इस लड़के ने मुझे propose कर दिया. And then what happened next was वो उसने कहा कि मैंने तेरे लिए एक engagement ring खरीदी है और एक ड्रेस खरीदी है. वो उसने बड़ी अच्छी ड्रेस की उसको फोटो भेजी और एक engagement ring की सिलेक्ट करवाई बकायदा फोटोज दिखा के, कौन सी तेरे को पसंद है मैं वही वाली खरीदूंगा. उसने वो रिंग खरीदी और वो ड्रेस खरीदी एंड उसने उसका लड़की का ड्रेस मांगा. द गर्ल गेव हर अ ड्रेस और उसने कहा मैं तेरे को कोरियर कर रहा हूँ लंदन से, सो यू गोना गेट द पार्सल इन लाइक 4-5 days. एंड देन फिर एक काम करेंगे, वीडियो कॉल कर लेंगे ऑन अ संडे. यू ब्रिंग योर फैमिली मेंबर्स ऑन अ वीडियो कॉल टू एंड आई विल ब्रिंग माइन. और तो फिर आमने सामने बैठ के यू वियर दैट रिंग और हम एक तरीके से एंगेज हो जाएंगे. गर्ल वाज हैप्पी, बड़ी खुश थी. तो उसने उसको एक शिपिंग का एक पासवर्ड भी एक लिंक भेजा विद अ पासवर्ड की आप इस लिंक पे जाना, इस लिंक के ऊपर आपको वो जो कोरियर है वो शिपिंग का ट्रैकिंग मिलता रहेगा. ट्रैकिंग आईडी था. सो अब वो ट्रैकिंग आईडी आया डे 1 पे. द गर्ल ट्राइड टू ट्रैक दैट ऑर्डर, तो वो ट्रैक कर नहीं पाई. और जनरली होता भी है कि इफ यू गो ऑन एनी ट्रैकिंग वेबसाइट इट जनरली टेक्स अ डे और टू कि आपकी ट्रैकिंग डिटेल्स उसमें आती हैं. Day 2, she got a message on her cell phone that your shipment has been held on Singapore customs, and there is a custom charges that has to be paid, which is around $100 some. You have to pay these charges so that we can release your shipment from here and it can reach your station in Delhi. So then that girl got a message, so she forwarded that message to that guy, her fiance, I would say. That guy said कि पता नहीं ऐसे कैसे हो गया, आई डोंट नो, ये कस्टम्स भी होता है दिल्ली के लिए और आई हैड नो क्लू अबाउट इट बिकॉज दिस इज द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट आई एम डूइंग. So then the girl said that they're asking me to pay $120 some, maybe something like that.
Right.
So that girl was like मैं पे करूं कि ना करूं, क्या करूं. Then the guy said कि see, if that link has come to you, I think I can't pay. It's you who have to pay, but don't worry, the day we're gonna meet I will send this money to you. It's just about $120, not a big deal.
Okay.
और बिकॉज उस लड़की को लग रहा था अब तो ये मेरा फियांसे है, इसने मुझे रिंग भेजा. एंड दैट गाय वाज लाइक आई हैव सेंट यू अ रिंग व्हिच इज मोर देन $1,000 एंड देन आई हैव सेंट यू अ ड्रेस दैट आई बॉट फ्रॉम H&M फॉर लाइक $250. सो if it's not going to be good if just for $120 you're not going to take it. So that girl thought कि नहीं यार, it's just a matter of $120. So she took out her credit card. There was a link on that shipping message. She opened that message. उसने जाके वहाँ पे अपनी credit card details डाली. $120 was deducted from her account. And what she did was she took a photo of that payment made and she sent it to that guy in UK. देख मैंने payment कर दिया, so all is well. वो all is well वहीं तक था actually. The time that message went to that guy, within a fraction of a second, the Facebook ID was locked. The WhatsApp number was switched off, or maybe the WhatsApp account was deleted. That account on that social networking site was also deleted.
Okay.
Then अब उस लड़की के पास वो नंबर तो था वो WhatsApp वाला. So she tried to do some search कि लड़का कहाँ चला गया, जाना कब, कल तक तो मेरे से बात कर रहा था, अभी just 5 minutes back he was talking to me. So अब जनरली लोगों को ना ज़्यादा एरिया कोड्स पता नहीं होते एरियाज के. अब मुझे पता है कि इंडिया का क्या है, यूएस का पता है, कनाडा का पता है, इन दोनों का 01 होता है. और आपको 2-4 कंट्रीज के पता होंगे जहाँ पे आप कभी गए हो या आपका कोई कॉन्टैक्ट. अगर कोई जर्मनी का आपसे एरिया कोड पूछे शायद आपको नहीं पता होगा.
राइट, बिल्कुल भी नहीं.
हाँ, तो उसके बाद वो एरिया कोड, उसने वो सेल फोन नंबर जो था उसका एरिया कोड निकाल के, क्योंकि व्हाट्सएप पे था, उसने गूगल पे सर्च करा कि ये कहाँ पे था, लड़का गायब हो गया। तो देखा तो वो कई कीनिया के पास कोई जगह थी, ये वहां का एरिया कोड था। सो इट वाज समबडी इन नियर बाय कीनिया, जो कि अपने आप को
राइट,
यूके का प्रिटेंड करके उस लड़की को
राइट,
स्पैम करके चला गया फॉर $120। और ये एक बहुत कॉमन क्राइम है दैट इज हैपनिंग
राइट,
नाउअडेज।
या,
I don't know if you know about, देखो, it started with a good intention of a girl,
राइट,
but उसको अपने पूरे टाइम पे जब तक वो उस लड़के से बात करी थी, उसको पता नहीं चला that I'm getting spammed,
yeah,
and
that's
it's
emotional
very
setback.
tough.
This emotional kind of thing. They can kind of do thing with a girl. She got emotional attached. Then they hit the proper with the scam kind of thing.
Correct, correct.
That kind of thing
बिल्कुल
happens.
सिमिलर सिनेरियो और भी बहुत सारे होते हैं, जहाँ पे फर्क
Hmm.
सिर्फ इतना होता है, यहाँ पे इस लड़के ने उसको कहा कि मैं आपको गिफ्ट भेज रहा हूँ, और उसने उससे
Hmm.
गिफ्ट के बदले पैसे वगैरह का किया।
Yeah.
सेम ऐसे ही लोग सोशल नेटवर्किंग साइट्स पे मिलते हैं, दोस्ती होती है, सब कुछ होता है, बाद में
Mm-hmm.
वो कहते हैं कि हम एंगेज हो गए हैं, हम ये हैं, हम वो हैं, एंड देन
Mm-hmm.
द गाइस थिंक एंड द गर्ल्स थिंक कि यार वी आर ऑन कैमरा, आई कांट बी देयर, कोविड फैला हुआ है, कैसे आऊं मैं इंडिया, या कैसे
Mm-hmm.
आऊं मैं तेरे को लंदन भी कैसे बुला लूं, या यूएस में कैसे बुला लूं। सो
Right.
एक काम करते हैं कि दे स्टार्ट हैविंग दोज इंटीमेट टॉक्स और सेक्सुअल टॉक्स ऑन different
Right.
different video platforms.
Right.
She never know that that guy is recording all her doings, and then
Yeah.
वो सब record हो जाता है, and that's later on either the girl is
Yeah.
blackmailed that I'm going to show, एक third person picture में आ जाता है कि मैंने आपका
Mm.
और आपके fiancé का
Mm.
आपस में कुछ सीन्स करते हुए वीडियो के ऊपर मैंने देख लिया, मतलब
Mm-hmm.
थ्रू कम कहते हैं ना,
It's
हैक करके मैंने
blackmailing.
निकाल लिया।
Yeah, hacker
हाँ,
and
तो
blackmailing.
आपको $1,000 देने पड़ेंगे, लड़के को भी और लड़की को भी,
Mm.
और वो भी कोई व्हाट्सएप का नंबर होगा, कोई अफ्रीका का या कोई ऐसी जगह का जहाँ पे आप ट्रैक नहीं कर सकते।
Right.
जनरली तो आप इंडिया में भी किसी को ट्रैक नहीं कर सकते, बट वो
Yeah.
इतनी दूर का
Right.
होता है। तो अब वो बेचारे क्या करें, वो लड़का कहता है देखो भी मैं भी फंस गया हूँ, मैं $1,000 देने को तैयार हूँ या $500 देने को तैयार हूँ, आधे तो मैं दे देता हूँ, आधे तू दे दे। अब वही होता है, वो लड़की आधे पैसे दे देती है, आधे पैसे लड़का देता है, लड़की को तो अपनी इमेज बचानी है। और ये जनरली ये स्पैम लड़कियों के साथ नहीं, लड़कों के साथ बहुत ज्यादा होता है, मैरिड मैन के साथ। मैरिड मैन के
Okay.
साथ ये प्रॉब्लम होती है, ये घर पे जैसे मर्जी रहें, लेकिन ये सोशल नेटवर्किंग एप्स वगैरह पे बहुत जाते हैं, और इंडिया फेमस है इन चीज़ों के लिए। आई डोंट नो if you've been to abroad and if you meet somebody who is not an Indian and who goes to the social networking site, they say social networking sites are filled with Indians
Okay.
who are making fake IDs. Some Indians you will find who are men making IDs on the name of women.
Right.
I don't know if you know about it, but it's very common nowadays.
I have, yeah, I have heard about it. I have about it.
Yeah,
There is so many fake IDs on every side. You
yeah.
can say that it's not
And
about
then,
only on one side.
yeah. So I will
There
complete
is,
that topic. You will pay 500. The guy is gonna pay 500. The time you're gonna pay $500, वो आपको कोई लिंक भेजेंगे जहाँ पे आपको पेमेंट करना होगा। तो वो लड़का आपको बोलेगा ठीक है, आई प्रॉमिस यू, मैं आपकी ये वीडियो जो मेरे पास आई है मैं डिलीट कर दूंगा इफ यू पे मी। जैसे ही आपने पेमेंट करनी है, होना क्या है उसके बाद, वो लड़का जिसके साथ आप बातें कर रहे थे उसका अकाउंट भी डिलीट हो जाएगा, उसका व्हाट्सएप भी बंद हो जाएगा, आपके $500 भी चले गए, और पता चला जो आपकी वीडियो उसी लड़के ने खींची थी वही लड़का था जो आपको अलग थर्ड पार्टी बन के आपको मैसेजेस भी कर रहा था ब्लैकमेलिंग के, और बाद में
right.
एक तो आपसे भी पैसे लिए और बाद में प्रॉब्ली किसी पॉर्न वेबसाइट को भी बेच दी या वहां जाके अपलोड कर दी। पॉर्न वेबसाइट्स आर फिल्ड विद दीस काइंड ऑफ
Yeah.
वीडियोस, इफ यू नो।
Yeah. Right. Right.
ये बहुत होता है। हमारे इंडिया में तो एक गांव है जो विच इज वेरी फेमस, इफ यू नो। हमारे इंडिया में अगर आपने सुना हो, ये तो चलो मैंने आपको बताया, जो साइट्स वगैरह हैं अलग अलग, उन साइट्स के ऊपर होता है जहाँ पे कि एजुकेटेड पीपल गो एंड दे आर बीइंग स्पैम्ड।
Right.
झारखंड हमारे यहाँ पे एक स्टेट पड़ता है, इफ यू गाइस नो। झारखंड के
Yeah.
अंदर एक गांव है, उसका नाम है जमतारा,
Right.
JAMTAR। एक ऐसा गांव है जहाँ पे कोई पक्की सड़क नहीं है। उस गांव को जाने के लिए आपको कच्ची सड़क से जाना पड़ता है, जो आज तक कभी रोड नहीं बनी। उस गांव में शायद एक भी स्कूल नहीं है, हॉस्पिटल भी वहां से 10-12 किलोमीटर दूर है। लिटरेसी रेट वहां का ऑलमोस्ट जीरो है, ऑलमोस्ट जीरो। यू कैन थिंक अबाउट झारखंड का ट्राइबल गांव, लेकिन उस गांव में घुसोगे ना आप, तो आपको एंटीनास बहुत बड़े बड़े मिलेंगे, और बाहर से तो गांव जैसा मर्जी दिखता हो, अंदर आपको घर दिखेंगे जो इतने आलीशान होंगे कि करोड़ों करोड़ों रुपए के बने हुए, जिनकी कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉस्ट ही करोड़ों में होगी।
Right.
ऐसे घर मिलेंगे आपको वहां पे। वो जो एक छोटा सा गांव है जहाँ के लोग अनपढ़ हैं, जिनको लिखना भी नहीं आता, वो हमारे यहाँ का सबसे बड़ा साइबर क्राइम का एक एरिया है, हॉटस्पॉट है। इंडिया में बड़ा कॉमन है, आपको फोन आएगा कभी ना कभी, आपको जरूर एक बार फोन आया होगा आपके लाइफ टाइम में कि आपको आपका पेटीएम जो है वो बंद होने वाला है, आपका केवाईसी एनेबल्ड नहीं है, मैं आपका केवाईसी एनेबल कर देता हूँ, आपके पेटीएम से लिंक कर देता हूँ।
Amrish, can we cover this topic, financial crime in English, because so many other, like, from different kind of,
Sure.
yeah, this is
You
very
have to give me
important
a
topic.
minute because I have to
Yeah,
take my charger as well. My charger is
yeah,
not
yeah,
working. So
sure.
give me
Take
just a
your time.
minute.
Yeah.
A lot of lot of good information on Jamtara.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I just want to discuss in English, because so many other person who just understand English, na, so for them it's
Yeah.
very important to
So
listen.
it's like it's a hub. It's basically a hub in like just for all crime. There's no law.
Yeah,
Yep.
97% crime happen from there.
Okay.
That's a financial crime. Because I have discussed with him the few days back, so he gave me like all just a few just details about Jamtara and all. Then I just go through this detail Jamtara and what it's all about.
Yeah. Am I audible now? I'm just charging my
Yes.
phone while
Yes,
talking to you
yes,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah. So this village, Jamtara, nobody's
Mm-hmm.
educated over there, but they are so much expert when it comes to cybercrime that every second person over there is into this deal.
Okay.
Once in a lifetime, I think every Indian who has a cell phone has received a call from somebody saying that I'm gonna your Paytm account is gonna get closed or your credit card is gonna get closed just because it's not KYC linked. So if you provide me with your KYC details, I will just upload that on Paytm or on the different websites that you have. Or I'm calling from the bank. Your PAN number is not updated or your Aadhaar card is not updated. If you can just give me that information. What they do is they're so good as a hacker, they will just ask you for a couple of details. And you know, the education system in India, though people are educated, but awareness about how to use a credit card, what detail on a credit card is important and should not be shared, they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So with just while talking to them, they will this is going to ask you for your credit card or your debit card number. Within a second, they're going to say that okay, you're going to receive an OTP on your cell phone. Just
Okay.
give us that OTP number. But that OTP
Mm-hmm.
is not actually an OTP. It's a money transfer OTP. You will
Right.
think that it's an OTP just to link your Aadhaar card with your bank account or your credit card or any other card that you have. But it's
Right.
actually not that. It's actually a financial OTP wherein they're
Mm-hmm.
transferring the money. The time you're gonna provide because you're talking to somebody on a cell phone and then suddenly you get a message. They're gonna say it's a 6-digit PIN that you're receiving or an OTP you're receiving. You will never think that there's an amount linked to that, though the amount is also written on the message. But your mind would not take you there because they have already fed that it's a OTP for linking your KYC. You're just gonna
Mm-hmm.
give them the OTP, and then within few seconds, you will get a message that all the money in your account is gone.
Mm. With a fraction of
And they're
second.
so smart that the way that they do it, the money is gonna come in their account, not directly, but into somebody else's account. From there, the cash gonna withdrawal. The cash withdrawal is gonna happen. Then the money is gonna go into some third person's bank account. There is no mail trail of that money. You can't trace that money, and that's the biggest problem. And if you see in Jamtara village, I was just reading some articles, and I saw a couple of videos wherein the people say that they have earned around like 8 to 10 million in 1 year, and
Oh
these
my
people
God.
have never seen how a school looks like.
Seriously.
I mean, having an Audi car or a Mercedes is like a trend over there, a fashion.
But
Sports bike is like I'm new into this business of spamming, so sports car is like sports bike is like that's the first you can say the first salary that I got. It's my first paycheck. That's how they earn. And because they know that one day they're gonna get caught, but catching them is very tough because that I mean, even if
Yeah.
you tell somebody it's from Jamtara, people won't believe. It's a tribal area where nobody even knows how to read English or Hindi, but they're so perfect in the work that they do that they clone you.
Mm-hmm.
They really spam you, but nobody believes that you were spammed. I tell you, one of the guy who was working with me, who's still working with me, though I'm working from home, but yeah, he's one of my colleagues. It was like 8-9 months ago. Same thing happened with him.
Mm-hmm.
95,000 was taken from his ICICI Bank credit card, and
Okay.
that too in one short transaction. He tried his luck by going to cybercrime, going here, going there, but there was no success. The reason was because you were the one who provided the OTP. Till the
Right.
time there is a security code, an OTP which comes to your message, which comes as a message on your linked phone number. Till the time you
Right.
don't provide that OTP, it's a consent. If you put that
Mm.
OTP into the transfer message or the link that you get, it's a consent that you agree to this transfer. So by
Yes.
providing them the OTP, it was a consent deal that was done.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because this is happening very often with every second person nowadays, so even the people in, I know, different departments in the government, cybercrime and all, they are aware about it. And I came to know
Mm-hmm.
that recently there was a series which was made just to cover crimes like this. It's on Netflix. The name of the series is Jamtara.
Hmm.
Yeah.
She was telling
It
me
talks
about.
about the same thing.
She
Yeah,
told
I
me.
have, I have, I have seen complete series to just cover that subject completely to understand what exactly a financial crime is. That's
Yeah,
my God, so
and
much
coming back
things.
to the first thing that I was telling you about, the social networking stuff.
Yeah.
There is another example which is very common nowadays. I've heard like different people being a victim of it. You know, there are a lot of men in India
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't care if the girl is elder to them or younger to them. They are lower middle class people, educated though. If they get a female who is rich, why not
Mm-hmm.
get married to her? And you know,
Mm-hmm.
the most easy trap for them is women who is around 35 to 50, but a single mothers, or maybe a divorcee or a widow. And
Mm-hmm.
these guys who are like 25, 27, they meet them on social networking, they present, their presentation skills are very good. They present as if they are the best people in the world, or maybe they don't care about the age or anything and they want to get married to them. Though they are
Mm-hmm.
from lower middle class, wherein their monthly income is not even 10,000 rupees. And they find a
Mm-hmm.
girl who is like maybe a millionaire. But yeah, see, she's a single mother or maybe a divorcee widow. They don't mind getting married to that girl and later on divorcing her too, just because it's going to be a reverse harmony for them. The girl is
Right.
actually going to pay them just to live their life.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a very common one that's happening. You might have heard
Mm-hmm.
about a lot of women getting engaged or meeting men who are like half of their age.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's
Washington.
very common.
And
And
now
how many of them actually success? Hardly any. 2 years, 3 years, and they're done.
they're done. Yeah, it's very common over here in
Everywhere. And you know
everywhere.
what? In India, the population of men is very high compared to women.
Yeah,
But if you go in North America, it's the other way around. The population of women is very high. There
Mm-hmm.
are less men than women. And same in Southeast Asia. So they are being the biggest victim. If you know, there are a lot of, I mean, because I travel a lot to North America, there are a lot of women who are not Indian, who are not from an Indian descent. They are from maybe from different parts of the world, maybe European. Because if you go to North America, even in Canada or US, you're not gonna find pure Americans over there. Most of the people over there are the ones who came from different countries and settled down there.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna find a lot of women over there who are like 45, 50, because for them 45, 50 is not a bad age to get married. But
Yeah.
in India, we have a taboo that yeah, if you're
yeah.
25, 27, that's the right age to get married. Because for a girl who has crossed her 30, getting a man for her is gonna be a it's gonna be a hard
Mm-hmm.
deal for her, right?
But that's
And
the
even
mindset.
for a man, yeah. And you know the kind of people or the kind of mindset that we have over here, if the girl has crossed 30 and is not married, people start thinking probably she has some problem, medical problem. And same
Mm-hmm.
goes for men. A man who is not married at the age of 30, people start thinking that maybe he's a gay.
Yeah.
Probably you have different priorities in your life. Maybe you don't want to get married, or maybe you have different priorities. You want to succeed in your career before you get married. But people don't think
Mm-hmm.
that. So this
Yeah.
taboo doesn't come in you, but in your family too. So that family pressure brings you into this picture. And for them, and for the men who are not earning and getting a deal like this, a girl in US, UK, because she is like a ticket to North America.
Mm-hmm.
And they think 3 years, 4 years, we can live together. The day I'm going to complete my PR and I get the citizenship, I take a oath, I can leave her
Mm-hmm.
anytime.
Right. This
And
emotional, they just click on the weakness of the girl कि where it can hit ना कहाँ पे trap हो सकता है where she can trap easily.
हाँ, वो तो है. I mean, because Education is good. Everybody
Yeah.
needs to be educated, but with
Yeah.
a lot of education and a wrong mind, that can be very,
Mm.
very bad too, very
Yeah.
fatal for people too.
Right.
So you won't find many people who are not educated doing these things. In fact, you're gonna find people who are highly educated doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
और
Right.
एक हमारे कंट्री में ना कल्चर है. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people say the divide in India or our culture is between the different religions. That I am a Hindu, you are a Muslim, the third person is a Catholic or a Christian, maybe born again Christian, or the fourth, this guy is a Sikh. But this is not the real division in our country. The real division in our country is rich and poor. You see a guy who's rich, who's just like 18 and 20, and an old guy, maybe 60, who's driving a rickshaw. You see that young guy who's driving a Mercedes car on a road.
Mm. Yeah.
If he hits his car to a rickshaw guy who is like 60, 65 years of age, see the way this 20 years old guy is going to talk to that rickshaw wala who is 60 years, who
Yeah.
is almost the age of his grandfather.
Father.
Right.
Hardly any abuse that he's not going to give. So real division in our country is about money. And if you see that mostly the cybercrime happens because of money. That's the main motive. Because हमारी
Mm.
country में ना ये division बहुत ज़्यादा है. And you know what? Indians are not the only people who are doing it. I mean, I should not
Mm-hmm.
bad name Indians. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not about a country. It's not even about a culture. Actually, it's about your mindset. It can be anywhere. An antisocial person can be in any part of the world. I mean, it's not in one
Right.
country. Most of the international crimes like this that happen over the internet are done by people from Africa,
Yeah.
but they are claiming to be from Europe, different, maybe some part of Europe or maybe
But
from
you
America.
can analyze from their you can analyze their from their accent.
No,
Their
no,
accent
no,
is
no,
very
no, 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 no.
different.
Don't
It's
get mistaken.
properly.
You can't
Yeah.
actually analyze. You
Okay.
can't actually analyze. Uh,
Okay.
I tell you one thing. If somebody says that I'm German and that person is calling
Mm.
you from Germany and he's speaking in an English which is very weird, his accent looks very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in the world can say that he's not from Germany. You know why? Because
Okay.
Germany, for Germans or even for French people, English is not their native language. They're not native English
Okay.
speakers. So when they're going to speak in English, the language is going to be very weird.
Mm-hmm.
The accent is going to be very different from an American accent or a Queen's British accent. Very different.
Okay.
So you have to give that benefit of doubt to them that nah, this person is genuine. And you know what? हमारे यहाँ पे होता क्या है, एक सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है कि जब हम नाम सुनते हैं ना, कोई लंदन से कॉल कर रहा है, बात कर रहा है,
Mm.
तो आधे शक तो हमारे दिमाग के खत्म ही हो जाते हैं. सिर्फ
Yeah,
नंबर
fascination
देखकर,
was
अरे
a we
इंटरनेशनल
get
नंबर है,
fascination.
चलो
Oh
यार,
wow, this UK and US
इंटरनेशनल
person
नंबर.
guy called you. Yeah, wow.
बट वी फॉरगेट कि यार people live everywhere are the same.
Yeah, right. That is a thing.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you,
I'm
Karuna.
not. You're not audible. Mute. Unmute yourself, Karuna.
I said it's like the dollar sign lights go on when you have an international fraud call because you're like, oh, it's international, so it must be
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And that's how they catch you. So yeah.
But I guess nowadays, maybe many of them, I guess, because of media and kind of social media, many people, many girls or many person are aware about that frauds like happen from the international
यार देखो,
numbers.
you're right what you said. A lot of people are aware, but
Yeah.
trust me on this, even if you are aware and somebody
Mm-hmm.
gives you a call
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
or you meet somebody, आप फिर भी उसके फंस जाओगे. Because you know what, in media or by an experience of knowing from others, there can be
Mm-hmm.
one scenario, but there are
Okay.
n number of scenarios that happen. Maybe a different scenario is going to happen with you.
Mm-hmm.
They change करते रहते हैं.
Yeah.
They're not the ones who gonna say or who gonna talk in the same trap every time. Their trap is gonna
Yeah,
change.
they have big gangs of girls and boys on both sides. Like
Yeah, I
girls
won't say
talk to the
it's
boys
a gang.
also.
Yeah, yeah. देखो, एक threshold होता है. इनका ना threshold बहुत अलग है. The
Hmm.
threshold is really different.
Okay.
For me, a threshold can be
Mm-hmm.
lying to somebody is a threshold. Even if I'm lying to somebody, I can't sleep at night. But for somebody, their threshold is at a level that till the time they don't lie to 10 people, they don't feel that it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
So वो बढ़ता है यार. And a time comes जहाँ पे आपके लिए बड़ा normal हो जाता है. तो इन लोगों को तो
Mm-hmm.
पता भी नहीं चलता कि that cloning or spamming somebody is a crime or it's a bad thing. For them, it's a part of their
Mm-hmm.
job.
Right.
It's
I think girls should be smart enough to just tackle. I think I'm not sure कि every girl should be smart, but I think
But financial crime is not that dangerous for a woman or even for a man.
yeah,
जो एक दूसरा crime होता है ना, for done by a man or a woman, because a lot of women are doing that too. I mean, not in India, but when you go on a social
Mhm.
networking site and you meet people from outside, you meet a lot of girls who are gonna ask you for having some kind of a virtual sex or something over a video call.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
more dangerous,
yeah,
because the
yeah,
time they're gonna start blackmailing you, it's gonna take your nights away. I'm telling you.
right,
So
right,
the scare of getting insulted and socially, and that's really bad for people, and nobody should get into
right,
it.
right.
So I just suggest, I mean, there are tools to use. There are a lot of sites that you can go into, but yeah, just be careful. There's certain ground rules that you have to set for yourself. If somebody asks you for money, never give money to somebody till the time you don't meet that person physically.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Videos, video calls are not meant for your personal time, which that you
Right,
something that you have to do within a bedroom.
right.
These virtual calls are very private, but it's very
Mm-hmm.
easy to make these private calls social. So these
Mm-hmm.
sites are used. I mean, like, we are coming on a social networking site and I'm talking to you guys. Somebody might be sitting in US, somebody maybe in London. But these are
Yeah,
good for information sharing, for meeting relatives and all those, and business purposes. They are not for something
right.
which is like time enjoyments.
Main
Don't
thing
get
is
into it.
everything is there, but you have to use it properly in the proper way, right? If you're sharing
Same like
information, that's
driving
it
a
good
car.
enough,
If
right?
you're driving a car
Yeah,
safely, there is no harm in that. But if you're rash driving, you can kill somebody. Same thing.
right.
So be responsible. I never blame
Yes.
people who are spamming or who are doing these things. I always blame people who get trapped.
Or who
That
are a
what was the
victim? Who
point of your
why
education?
you
What was the point of
right?
going to school and college and universities if you don't even know what's right and what's wrong for
Hmm.
you?
Right.
So I really don't blame people who are actually spamming them, because it's like an industry now.
Hmm.
It is. It's like a
It's a
tech-based.
quick money.
Yeah, it's like a tech-facilitated type of like violence that happens where communication is like the new way of technology, and
Yeah,
communication is a new way of hurting
yeah,
people and threatening
yeah,
them. Like
yeah,
cyber stalking is a lot, cyber harassment, revenge porn, child pornography, child grooming.
yeah.
So
If this is the biggest industry nowadays, across the globe. These porn websites and all. Earlier, there was a time when these used to be free on webs, but now with the big companies like Pornhub, Hub, and all coming into picture, and there are a lot of sites where the individual can go and upload the videos. It's getting more dangerous for people,
yeah,
and yeah, and you know what? It doesn't feel good to be blackmailed. Nobody
yeah,
likes it. So why to do something that later on you can be blackmailed? It's always
yeah,
best to just stay safe wherever you are. I mean, if you want to go on social networking, there is no harm in that. There are so many social networking sites where you can go. But
Right.
no,
just be
there
conscious. You never know. You can meet nice people over there.
there's that's what we were talking about. I was telling Preeti there are so many crimes that are happening, like morphing, photo morphing. You're dating somebody, you can take somebody's profile picture and morph it into any kind of video or picture, and extort money, threaten them. There's women of all specific like ethnic background. You know what? There is a lot of disturbance in our conversation. I don't know where it's
Yeah.
coming from. Maybe
Manish, it's from your side, some disturbance is coming on. That voice is coming, a cracking, some like
just got
disturbance.
a cracking sound that was happening, but that's okay. Now it's good.
Is it cracking or is
Yeah.
it fine?
Now it's fine. Before that, it was like some not air or air voice and something like this.
Oh, probably my mistake. I was charging my phone while talking to you. Probably that was the reason.
Okay, that maybe.
Because
That
when
okay,
you are
okay.
an Apple user, don't go on a video call for an hour for hours without charging your phone, because the battery
I
drains so
know.
fast.
Yeah,
No,
that's
this
true.
even the
It's like if
safety
you,
measure. Sorry,
yeah.
no,
Sorry,
sorry.
it's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, no.
No, no, nothing. I
Preeti,
was
go.
just saying like that. Nothing important.
No, I was
Preeti
saying
hasn't
even in
talked
our
much.
today, huh?
Yeah, what are you saying?
I said in our technology today, even if we use like software filtering, settings, and all that, there's hackers still get through that to get your information. So
Yeah.
there is not yet. I mean, we have laws and legal procedures for all of this, but still, there are a lot of people who are great at hacking into the system.
Mm-hmm.
It happens two or three times. Like my sister, brother-in-law, they are having like like dental clinic in Australia. Like their system hacked, I think last year 3 to 4 times. They have
Mm-hmm.
all security still. Still, hackers are very smart to just hack their computers and like so many
Yeah,
problems coming their computers and they stop all the work at the same time.
Yeah. It's a common practice nowadays.
Yeah.
I told you it's an industry now. These
it
things are
is,
an industry. And you
and
see, one
especially
principle that I tell everybody who are using an Android phone, if you want to download an app, always download from Google App Store or Google Store.
Okay.
Never, because if you try to download something from google.com or from an external source, your phone always gives
Mm-hmm.
you a notification that you are downloading this app from an external source. Do you wish to
Yeah.
download or not?
Right.
Never download,
yeah,
because it's a leakage in your phone. Your
Right.
phone doesn't need a good antivirus if you're just playing on your cell phone using the
Mm-hmm.
using sites or apps which are downloaded from the original verified source, which is your Google Play Store or Apple Store.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
always when you going for sites. I mean, think about it. An app which Google or Apple hasn't given a license to be downloaded
Mm-hmm.
or uploaded from their store
You
means
you
there's
can say
something
that
wrong with it.
you can say that certified download.
Yeah,
We can say that
yeah.
certified download
yeah,
kind of.
Yeah. Like I know a lot of people in India, TikTok is banned. You can't download TikTok.
mm,
But
Yes.
I know a lot of people download TikTok
Mm-hmm.
from different sources. Though for some it works if they use a VPN, if for some it doesn't. But
Right.
still, it's dangerous. So
Yeah.
safety, that's what I said. I mean, said never blame. I don't blame people who are doing it, because for them
Mm-hmm.
it's an industry. It's we who have
Yes.
to be conscious.
Right. You have to be cautious in each and every way to safeguard yourself.
Yeah. But you know why? Because we can spread awareness. I can tell n number of people. But
Mm-hmm.
you never know. You are the one who is spreading awareness, and maybe one day you are the one who is spammed.
Right.
Because there are different ways that
Mm-hmm.
they try,
yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
every way is different from another.
Right.
So yeah, always keep your eyes open, and I
Even
think that's the best way.
even with credit cards, they have like this way now they can literally like you can scan and
Oh
with
yeah, yeah.
there's just so many like protection cases they sell and things like that, but still people do get away with informations.
I saw a documentary some time back. They said the time you give a credit card on a gas station and
Yeah,
they swipe your credit card on their machine, there is a holder. If somebody really wants to play with it, they have a holder where they scan it once, and the entire chip is read by that holder,
machine.
and
Yeah,
they can easily go and make a clone credit card the same way, and you won't even come to know.
it's interesting. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Nobody is safe. मतलब कोई भी nobody is safe anywhere. A credit card, your account details are already like the data they have. You just got call from some other numbers also. Your data is also shared with other persons also.
Yeah.
Your data is also not safe with bank also. They just share your data with other scammers.
See, see, data security is very important. And you know what? In
Yeah,
India, we don't have strict laws of data security. This is the
right.
first time that Indian government has started questioning data security by blocking Chinese app because of data frauds and all. We never
Mm-hmm.
had any strong laws of cybercrime protection or prevention or maybe for data security. But data security is
Mm-hmm.
very important. I
Right.
mean, there was a time when this call center setup happened in India, and now it's in Philippines. If you live in US or Canada, you will never see a day when you don't get 5 or 6 calls from India or from Philippines selling you something.
Mm-hmm.
How do they get your data?
Right.
They have your cell phone number, they have your first name, your last name, your address. maybe your driver's account, driver's details, something like that. Yeah. So it means they have your data. And if you're living in US, your social security number is your lifeline.
Mhm.
Your SSN number, that
Yeah.
9-digit
Mhm.
SSN is your lifeline. Yeah. So data security is very important. And if your important number is gone, then it means your entire data is gone. For Aadhaar card as well. In India, we have Aadhaar card system. The number on Aadhaar card is very important for you because that same Aadhaar card number is also registered in your bank accounts. It's also linked
Mhm.
to your income tax returns. It's also linked with all the important different institution stuff that you have done because everywhere you have to give your Aadhaar card. And if
Mhm.
somebody gets hold of your Aadhaar card and tries to misuse it, they can get details of all the transactions or all the areas wherein you have given it. And it can be dangerous.
Mhm.
And
Right.
I mean, so now this is the first time when the government has actually started bringing laws that data protection is important.
Yeah.
Earlier, we never had that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. A lot of people, I still get calls from different credit card companies. I don't even know where they get my number, my details from. They're always like, you're just one click away from getting a new credit card. And I was like, I never requested for one. No, but we have your details. How do they get it? They get it from
Yeah,
some source or another.
Usha ma'am, wanna say something?
Hello.
Hi, Ushama.
Yeah, good evening and good morning, good evening. It was a very interesting, but I joined late.
Okay.
I think Mr.
No, no,
Mahesh,
Munish,
right? If
Munish.
I
Ushama, it's Munish.
can,
Yeah.
Manish, yeah, Manish. I missed crux of this one. Uh, you would have given a very expert advice. When you were talking about the phone numbers and all, I was recollecting as a consumer or a customer or a victim. If I can share certain such incidents, probably people will also have an awareness. Please correct my understanding, Manish, Karuna, and as well as
Yeah, sure.
Preeti. Coming to the, I have a little background of being in a software for 20 years. So first and foremost thing we learned is securing your password.
Right.
Your password is your lifeline, and people don't take it very seriously. But if some in those days there was no computerization, they used to secure their checkbooks because even one check leaf with a blank sign, they know what it costs. It is same as sharing your password, your blank checkbook with your signature. That is what is the passbook for anybody. So that was taught to us in those days. So I would like to say that I have not given my password to anyone, whether it at home or to anyone this one, but only the administrator in the office. If at all they are authorized, they will only be knowing it. Otherwise,
Mhm.
none. In any device or anywhere, anything, any password, any pins, or any OTPs. My phone is handled by myself until and unless I think that I should be given to somebody to talk, including with children or a husband or anyone. Because instead of suspecting them, let us be careful on our own. That's the one
True.
point about the password. I don't see others' password because it holds the good same way. I don't want others to suspect me because I
Right.
just
Yeah.
and I had a very bad experience. There was a non-technical person. I taught them how to secure their mailbox by giving a password. But the
Mhm.
next day they lost the mail and they started suspecting me. It is highly impossible that I can access their system because I don't know their password, system password, and then access the file only available only in their system. And the
Mhm.
close relation was like suspected because I was trying to help somebody. They started suspecting me, thinking that I'm a hacker.
Right.
So from then onwards, later on, it is impossible for ignorant person to enlighten them because that's the thing. So
No,
it is
it's a
better
very nice
don't.
practice that you're doing actually.
Yeah, this and also if somebody typing their password, I deliberately turn aside so that they shouldn't suspect me. or I become a victim of their some other intentions. So there are two
Right.
ways of
Do you know that
defending.
chlorine? Yeah, sorry for interrupting. Do you know about that
No
chlorine
problem.
spam that happened? What they really do, I came to know about it. I saw it on a Discovery some time back. There is a spray. What they do is they put that spray on the keyboard. It's invisible, but and then they will keep the keyboard like that. You will go. You will put your password. You will not come to know. Later on, it's an infrared spray that they have done. They just take it in a room which has a different kind of a light, and they can see all the keys that you have pressed. Do you know about it? I
The
actually came to know
yeah
about it. I
yeah
saw it
I
on Discovery.
No,
yeah actually
This was new.
I've
This was
got
new
this
for
new
me.
information.
this this I'm aware. I think somewhere it was shared that they'll have a thin layer of pin wherever they type a pin. Not only that, they have a hidden cameras
Yeah,
attached, so that what we
hidden
are
camera is
typing.
very common.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what I for that sake only what I do is I cover wherever I'm doing a pin, whether it is in stores or anywhere, any the point of sales or POS they call it as I suppose.
you know what?
I cover my total
I always
fingers.
suggest
They should.
everybody.
Hmm.
I always suggest everybody if you're going outside your house and you're using a credit card. I mean, sorry, if you're using a computer to pay a credit card bill or to open your password, open your Gmail account or your any account, any password that you're entering on a keyboard, always do it on a laptop or a cell phone which belongs to you, not to somebody else. There are a lot of, if you go
Yes,
on
exactly.
Google and you will search, there are a lot of invisible screen recorders. What they really do is they put that invisible screen recorder into the laptop. On the screen, you will not come to know that the screen is getting recorded. When you enter a password in any website, you know what happens? When you press an alphabet or a numeric number, alphanumeric, anything, just for a fraction of a second, you can see the number popping and then it turns into that streak, invisible streak. So anybody who's recording can slowly go later on and can see what the numbers were that you typed for the password or the alphabets were that you typed. It's very simple to see. Because even if you go on Gmail and you press H, it will pop up as H and then it will turn as star. And it's very easy to catch later on. So as a practice, always try if you're going outside on any store and they tell you, okay, you want to make a payment, you can use our laptop and do it. Don't do it. It should be your cell phone or your laptop, not of somebody else. You never know what they have done. Invisible screen recorders are very common nowadays. Even if you go on Google Play Store, you can easily download a screen recorder. It will hardly. It's going to be a free. It's going to be a free app for you. You don't even have to pay. I'm sure. I mean, a lot of people know about it already.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
think I've got. Sorry. Yeah, I got. I
sorry. Go
think
ahead.
while you're talking, I got an idea. Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
think in this case, when you're going to the public and you have to use a device which is not yours, or otherwise any others device you have to use it, and do not take credentials. Do not give your username and password. There is a saying the particular device. You have to use it. They delete your
Ushama, I
page.
guess your network is not good. Ushama,
Oh,
some noise coming on and your network is not properly working on.
I think her camera froze already.
Yeah, maybe.
is it okay now?
Your screen is
My
first right
headset.
now. If any issues, just you can try again.
Is
You
it
can
okay
come
now?
in. Yeah, noise is coming still again,
Hmm.
like not coming properly. Some I don't know.
Nah, it's not from my side this time.
Shall I
Okay, from your
join
side,
again?
fine. Yeah, you can just join again,
Oh,
Ushama.
yeah.
Maybe some issues with network, or I guess.
Yeah, join again. Okay.
Yeah, let's join again. Yeah. Yeah, I think from Ushama's side is noise is I think noise is still coming. I don't know from where it's coming right now.
Probably I,
Some air
I tried moving my
from
charger, putting my charger back, but the noise was there. So I thought maybe it's something else.
I don't know from where it's coming. Too much
Still,
noise.
there
I
is a
don't know.
problem.
I
There's
think
some
some
noise.
network issue. Huh, noise is there. I just keep myself mute. Let's see. I think from my side it's not coming.
Yeah, hello. I think it is Preeti's side. Yeah. No, it could be from my side. Okay. Let me try to quickly share it. Or shall
Sure,
I?
sure.
Okay. When you use a public or borrow someone else's device which is not yours, do not share your credential, username, password, as well as delete the cache, internet cache, as much as possible. But also, it would be better idea to go for a two-step credentials. That is, along with the password, go for a OTP. And as soon as you use someone else's device or public device, change your password. That's one criteria. And another point comes, all of a sudden from some marketing people keeps calling us sales or, for asking for a credentials, sorry, credit card or something like that. I keep asking them, how did they get the number? They say my
Right.
number has been shared. And I keep
Mm-hmm.
on asking them, I insist them to connect to their manager to find out on what basis, without my permission, they got my phone number because I didn't
Right.
directly share with them. And later
Mm-hmm.
on, I learned that we go to the stores, there'll be free, something subscriptions or something like that, for
Mm-hmm.
some lucky draw, something like that, where we would have filled our phone numbers.
Yes.
That is being used, it seems that they create a database out of it and they share our private numbers. So
Mm-hmm.
it is our duty that we should not share
Mhm.
our private numbers. This is how
Right.
I traced and tracked
True.
them. And I
Exactly
every
true,
time
actually.
whenever, yes, every time when they call, I keep going to they think that, I'm a cranky person. Why did I call this lady at all? But it's okay, but because it's my private number, I have not given to
Right.
them. And what
Right.
rights they have to contact me? And
Mm-hmm.
I will go to the extent asking them
Mm-hmm.
from where they got also. नो
Mm-hmm.
मैडम, हमारा मैनेजर दे दिए, क्या करेंगे? तो मैनेजर को कांटेक्ट करो, मैनेजर को कांटेक्ट कर दिया तो फ्रॉम वेयर डिड यू गेट दिस फ्रॉम, which
Mm-hmm.
organization sold my number to you? Then they say, sorry
Mhm.
madam, we will not call you next time. Think, next time. So I'll ensure that. And also one more thing what I have done is, for my number, do not disturb, there is some option is there, so that no one else will call
DND,
me.
but it doesn't work. It doesn't work,
DND.
ma'am. Yeah, I tell you
Because
one
so
thing.
many spammers will
It's
call.
from the yeah, yeah. No, it's from the TRI. If you know, try a
Hmm.
telephone regulatory authority, something like that. That if you
Hmm.
want, you can do a DND setup. It's a do not call registry that you can set up on your cell phone, so that somebody to whom you have not authorized to call you or message you would never call
Hmm.
you or message you. But you know what? It hardly works. I tell you one thing, one story of mine. I have two cell phone
Hmm.
numbers, okay? One
Hmm.
is the number that I've shared everywhere. It's with my colleagues, my office colleagues, my relatives. And that's the number which I've given to everybody. And the second number I have never given to anybody, but my Aadhaar card is linked to that number. Uh, Only the Aadhaar card, my PAN card, all the government sites and all, they're linked. My car registration is linked to that number. The other Airtel number, I have two Airtel numbers, but I have never shared that number with anybody. It's only with my parents. If in case of an emergency, they want to call me. And you know what? It's been like 6 years. I have never received a phone call from anybody selling me anything on that number.
Great.
Just because
That's a
I've
good
never
thing.
shared it with anybody. I never wanted to change my number, but because I was getting a lot of calls, so what I did was I moved all my Aadhaar card connects. Like you have to link your Aadhaar card with your cell phone. I've linked that cell phone number, which I've never shared with anybody, with my Aadhaar card, my PAN card, my income tax stuff, all the government websites. And the other number where I get all the stupid messages, calls from people selling from Tupperware to cars. I've given that number to everyone. And I tell you, I mean, I can tell you at least 20 people name who are working in RBL Bank because they regularly keep on calling me to buy a credit card from them. SBI credit card and Citibank credit card is very common because I know they're giving their credit cards for free because at least I get 2 or 3 calls in a week. The main way
That's right.
these numbers were distributed, I know how these numbers were distributed. 3 ways. You know, if you go on a gas station, you park your car, get your gas filled, somebody will approach you. There's a lucky draw. Would you like to fill one form? You fill that form up, there is no lucky draw. Your number is gone. Their number is sold. They call it lead. It's a lead that is sold. When they collect like
Sales lead.
200, 300 numbers, they sell it as a lead. These are the people who were filling gas from the gas station. So it means they own a car. And then that lead is going to go to companies which are selling accessories for cars. You go on a bank, you give your bank account details, your cell phone number to a bank. If you're a Citibank customer, it's a lead for other banks because this person holds a credit card of Citibank. So this person might be interested, more opportunity of this person being interested to buy a credit card from another bank. Because people love to do balance transfer nowadays. Because of the COVID, nobody wants to pay bills. So they do a balance transfer. Easy customer. You buy a car loan. You don't pay a couple of EMIs. Your number is sold to different banks. Do you want to do a balance transfer? Because you're not able to pay your EMI. Easily, your number is an easy trap for them. You go on a social networking website. Any website that you go for a dating, you give your number as an just to generate an OTP. What happens? That number is distributed with other social networking sites. Why? Because he's a potential guy or a woman who's searching for a date. So what will happen is you will start getting calls from matrimonial websites. You register with us, we will give you 50% discount. You go on jivansathi.com, we will give you this much discount. You go on other website, you will get this much discount.
Yeah, I think in that case, Truecaller somewhere down the line it is helping sometimes.
Truecaller helps, but how authentic is Truecaller? Because you're putting your details in Truecaller too.
Yeah,
Truecaller was
but you can
not.
block them at least, right? You can at least somewhere,
No, I mean you can block them, but Truecaller has your details. Truecaller got your number, your cell phone number.
Yeah,
What if
obviously.
somebody from
Once you
Truecaller
want to
sells
know
it?
about others, yeah, once
It's
you
a
know
Chinese
about
website,
others,
baby.
you'll have to let yourself know to others. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Truecaller
Yeah,
also had
I
there
mean,
are
you can block others on Truecaller, but you have put your details on Truecaller. How safe is Truecaller?
obviously no, it's not safe. Yeah, but another way is
And it's
take
very
early
easy to
call
get your
from
details.
the
You know how? Pay
yeah
99 rupees a month, take a premium Truecaller. You can see all
yeah
the accounts, all the people who are there. You would
yeah.
know that, no? Pay
Where is
99
the
rupees extra,
privacy?
premium Truecaller. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
where is the
privacy.
privacy?
You know,
Yes, yes.
all these apps, all these Facebooks and all bank account details, even that's a part of your social marketing. If you really want to socialize, don't socialize with your identity. I see a lot of people, even myself, not using my own personal name, but using an alias going on different sites. Even on banks, when I go to a bank, I fill up a form. I use an alias name instead of my own name. Or I will write a weird cell phone number which doesn't belong to me if I'm putting a lucky draw. Because if somebody really forces me to, because if I want to save my identity, I have to hide my identity. That's the only way. People might think you're a spammer, or maybe you
Yeah.
have wrong intentions. But my intentions are not wrong. My intentions is saving myself.
Yeah.
Depends.
Because I don't want to become a victim later on. People might question me. I mean, just because before you joined, my name was different. I use a different name, Stock Wolf, and that's the name I use on every site where I go. The reason why I do that is because I don't want to share my personal details with anybody. If I go on a website buying stocks, I don't want other brokers to see what my name is or my details are. Or even if I go somewhere, so go to a bank, I prefer not to use my personal name or personal details with anybody.
Mm-hmm. And
Because
another
that's the only way that you can protect yourself. एक वो जमाना
yeah
होता था जब कहते थे कि लड़की को घर पे रखो तो मतलब शी इज प्रोटेक्टेड, बट आज की डेट में तो आपको अपनी आइडेंटिटी प्रोटेक्ट करके रखनी पड़ती है.
Right.
Because it's very
yeah
easy for me to be Preeti and maybe trap somebody else. करना क्या है, एक सेलफोन नंबर ही तो लेना है, प्रीति की फोटो लगानी है व्हाट्सएप पे, एक सोशल नेटवर्किंग साइट पे जाना है, इनकी फोटो लगानी है और बस शुरू हो जाना है. जब तक मैं बात नहीं करता किसी से, उसके लिए भी वॉइस कॉलर्स आ गए हैं. इफ यू नो There are voice
Yeah.
changing softwares in the market. मैं प्रीति की
Yeah.
आवाज निकाल सकता हूँ. ये भी होता है.
ये
And
alias
they
इसके
are
बारे में
openly sold on Google Play Store.
Hmm.
You just have to pay money. I mean,
You can buy
so
anything from money, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have one point which is related to that. Once it has come to our notice, like what happened is, using Preeti, face for your interaction in the public. Similar or something similar to that has happened. Like, once one person was standing in a bus stop, it seems, and a girl came to him and saying that urgently I have to make a call to my parents or someone. ठीक है भैया थोड़ा मेरे को आपका फोन दे दो. So he thinks it's genuine. He lends her his mobile to that girl. वो कॉल करके चली जाती है. 2 दिन के पास बाद पुलिस उनका घर को आ जाता है. The point was she used his phone to interact with her, her lover. Okay, and वो भागना चाहती थी. वो इसलिए वो अपना फोन यूज नहीं करी. वो लड़के का द पर्सन्स हु आर हेल्प्ड उसका फोन इस्तेमाल कर दिए. सो दे ट्रैक्ड दैट ये लड़की इधर तक आई थी तो किसका आ गया तो टावर से निकाल दिए. And parents were against that girl, and it was they knew that that boy whoever the lover is a bad person, so they wanted to
Hmm.
protect their child, their
Hmm.
daughter, and then
Hmm.
they traced this person who helped by giving his phone to her, and the
Hmm.
police was in front of his house. So
Hmm.
I don't give my device to anybody
Hmm.
until I allow them to operate it if my hands are not free. Only
Hmm.
very direct situation only I will give. So
Hmm.
this is the point. See, you want to help, but you don't know to what kind of person and to for what purpose you are helping them. Not
Hmm.
everyone दूध का धुलाई. बहुत smart लोग हैं. Over smart. I use smartness is a cunning.
Yeah.
Helping. Let's not make it very smooth and sugary coated word. Cunning is a cunning, help is a help, and then working very better way is that's different. But इधर क्या होता है कि लोग किसी का टाइम या उनका पैसा या उनका दिमाग इस्तेमाल करके दूसरों का तो अपना फायदा निकालने वाले ही ज्यादा है दुनिया में. So
Ma'am,
got
it's
to
a
be
bread
very
and butter for
careful.
them. Somebody who's doing this,
Yes,
it's a bread and butter for them because if you see from their perspective, they're just doing their job.
yeah,
Somebody calling you from the
using,
bank is just doing their job. They're doing nothing
yeah.
wrong. The point is, maybe they are not the one who has stolen an identity for somebody. They just got it from somewhere. It's lead, but it's just that it's
No, this is
I
the
mean,
other way
it's something
around,
that we can't blame anybody for.
Manish.
We just have
No,
to blame
Manish, this
ourselves
is
that
no, Manish, this is different. You're in a unknown place. You're waiting for a bus, or otherwise a tram or something like that. Someone asks for the phone. They want to contact somebody.
uh-huh.
You help them, and after 2 days, you find a police. Not you, someone else. Okay. So उनके घर के वो हेल्प कर दिया. उनके घर के सामने पुलिस आ गई क्योंकि वो लड़की या वो आदमी जिन्होंने आपका मदद पूछे थे वो गलत काम करने के लिए आपका फोन इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं.
Uh-huh.
Similarly,
Don't give anybody.
that's
When
it.
I
That's the
always
point.
say sorry. I always say sorry. It happened with me once in Sarojini Nagar market. A girl around, I would say, very young, around 20, with a couple of her friends came over and she was like, "Can I use your cell phone? My battery drained." I said, "I can't give you a cell phone, but if you want a charger, I can give you my charger." Then she was like, "It's just a call." I know. I said, "Don't worry, my calls are free, but I can't give you my cell phone, but I can give you my charger."
That's
I
it.
gave the charger. Yeah. I mean,
Because
it's my
our
personal
phone
phone. Why
phone
should I
is,
mean?
yeah. Our phone has become so much of identity actually.
I
So
mean,
you unlock it, any of the application
your
transactions
phone
can be
is
used.
your phone is more critical than your credit card password. Because with your credit card password, one can withdraw just with a limit, 100,000, 150,000. But with your phone, they can store your entire identity and do anything.
Or it could be other way around. They can do some. I think after this one sentence, I'll just take a due because there's a lot of disturbance. Could be from my end. There could be something that
No,
they
it's okay.
can
I
do
think
some.
it's in the line overall because I tried experimenting everything. It didn't stop.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I cut you short.
It
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. It could be possible that they can do some posting, some any lewd kind of post, or they can be doing some illegal or criminal post from your own device, and then the blame will come to the person who lends your device, not just a phone call. It could be something they go to the site, they write some anti kind of all religious anti
Yeah.
things and all. They can do from the device by lending it. We will fall to the trap of the person. So innocence is not any escape to become a victim or criminal.
See, agreed. This nuisance can happen anytime with anybody. It's just that we have to be more conscious, make our own principles, not to lend our cell phone to
Mm.
anybody, even for making one call, if we don't know the person in and out. Number two, never share your personal details with anybody on internet, on cell phone, or anywhere. Never use a device which doesn't belong to you for opening any of your personal details, even your email address box or Gmail box or anything like that, because all your passwords and everything comes there. When you make a transaction online, you get a notification with the OTP on your Gmail account. Maybe that can be used. You never know. And if you're going on a matrimonial site or any of the social networking sites, remember two things. Never to give money to somebody whom you haven't met physically, personally, I would say. Number two, don't do anything which is like a virtual thing on internet which is obligatory. That's a simple thing.
I have one
Some
more
certain
point
confidential
actually.
info. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I because I whatever it come flashes, I'll cut short yours. Please don't mistake because it evaporates from my brain. I have seen one more incident I would like to share. I had once we had been to a ATM to withdraw amount, but we saw two girls aged between 8 to 12. Okay, they were looking back and forth, and one girl who is little more faster, she opened her purse, small kitty purse, and used the debit card, withdrew the amount, and they both ran very fast. We could able to make out that they had took that the debit card without their parents' knowledge. So what is this actually giving a signal? That's all. That's all from my end. So there is lot to analyze from this.
It's a good one. It's a nice information to actually have, because you know what, with kids nowadays, we call them as millennium kids. They're born after 2000, like 15, 16 years old kids. They're born after 2000. They were not born in 1900s, so they're millennium kids. You know, the DNA that they have is very different from the people who were born in 1970s, 60s, or 80s. I mean, priorities for them is more. I mean, socializing with them is more for them in terms of being with friends and colleagues instead of being with family and all. So yeah, for them, and you know what, from priorities about money and all, it actually changes for them. Maybe they have a threshold, because I call it as a yardstick threshold, that if they can, if the kids can have access to their parents' credit cards and all, I don't know how safe their identity is. It's very dangerous.
Right.
And at the same time, I have one more. It keeps
Excuse me,
on
ma'am.
coming.
Just a second. I
Okay.
would like to say that thanks a lot for meeting you all, guys. I'm gonna take a leave.
Yeah. It's more than 1 hour. I already have spoken with him for 45 minutes of session, and I already taken up more than
I
one
think
hour
I
of
need
him.
some
And
water now.
thank you so
Just
much.
talking and talking.
Yeah. Thank you, Manish. Thank you so much for
It
coming
was
and
pleasure
sharing so
meeting you all.
insightful things.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
Thank
much.
joining,
you.
Manish. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Manish.
much.
Thank you.
Have a
Sorry,
good
I
night.
just cut short in between because of my
Thank you.
talk.
Bye bye.
No, no, you can
Yeah,
continue. But once he leaves,
Absolutely.
okay, you can continue. Yeah. In
yeah.
case he wants to leave, I just already have requested for 45 minutes of session. So we have already
Okay.
taken more than 1 hour of him.
I was feeling guilty because I joined and then he might have
No,
given
no,
up.
it's okay. It's okay. We can
uh,
do
No,
for 10 minutes more. It's
absolutely
okay.
fine.
yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
possible.
Actually, one of known people, they are from Air Force. Okay, so obviously you can think of how disciplined they are, they themselves, and also they are the kind of family where they wanted to raise their kids disciplined way. Okay, and this is all talk. What I'm telling is some 15 years back. Okay, when we went to their house, there was only one DVD that was something about oh, the first child was very fond of that particular gorillas. Some movie was that English movie. The child is exposed only to that movie and no
Mm-hmm.
TV at all at home. Its TV is there for namesake. Okay, no connection, cable connection, nothing. Complete extracurricular activities, whatever is required was there. Interaction with Air Force pins, definitely you have a lot of get together socializing, and also they had exposure to multiple because they used to get transferred to different areas, so lot of outings, as well as they were in touch with all their relatives. All those stuff were there. Okay, and once that girl completed her plus 2, she got on a general merit into a medical. Now, evaluate the usage of technology and how much technology you need for a children. For what purpose the
Yeah.
technology is? Is it to make our life better or waste our life? Crucial life, children's crucial life. You expose them, you also, yourself also expose only when it's required. For awareness, yes, get an awareness. For children, you don't need to expose everything because they're not in a position to handle it. They don't know what is right and wrong.
Right.
So, yeah, expose the technology as much as required, and the rest of the time is totally for everyday how much they are improving in their studies and life leading aspects. Everything is not going to be, it's like,
Right.
you can't have a junk food to your stomach. Similar way, you can't have a junk information for your brain. That is also assimilating, digesting
Right.
thing for improving their,
You have to be protected in each and every way. Yeah.
and also decide what are the topics that children has to get exposed. It's a, it could be a
Mm.
some 10 minutes of work from parents end, and then monitoring them. That's all. But for that, even parents have to be self-disciplined. If they are not self-disciplined, you can't expect the
Yeah.
children to be disciplined. So that's all from my end. So I think, yeah, password not to be shared with anyone. Don't see others' password. Marketing purpose. Don't get become a victim of what you say, the free this one, lucky top and all. Don't give your personal mobile numbers. And if somebody unknown people calls you up with your personal number, keep on digging them. They should get vexed that next time they are not going to talk. They are
Yeah,
not going to
that's a good
call you.
point, Ushama. That's a good point, Ushama.
Hmm.
You have shared about this. Like so many
Hmm.
times, I also got so many spam calls. Like before that, I just don't attend that call and just cut at the same time. Now onwards, I should be very more careful about that call. So just
I
dig
keep
out
talking
about.
to them. I keep talking
Yeah,
them, and if somebody, and also what happens is, if someone is like, my known people get such kind of call, I'll ask them
right,
to hand it over to me, and I'll take them for a ride for 15 minutes minimum.
right.
Keep on asking them how they have got it,
Yeah,
so
that's a
that,
good
and
point.
I'll make them escalate to their manager.
Mm,
If they
yeah,
say no, we can't talk to the manager, then why did you call me?
right.
That's
Yeah,
all.
there's
Next time,
so many spams coming like on phone calls also on like emails also. They send you a wrong that fake email ID from fake email ID, the wrong ID from this send some job offers also. Like from this company, you have sent to this kind of rupees, so you get offer letter from this company also. So many scam emails also coming on your email management
hmm.
also.
Okay.
I have
Where,
received.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so in such cases, especially, there'll be some click me or something like that. We should not
Yeah.
click any site.
Yeah, I never did that, but I have received
Mm-hmm.
a spam call. So I already have put in spam box, so I just have not seen that kind of
Yeah, it
mails.
goes there.
The scammers
Exactly.
can happen everywhere, from phone calls to from email also.
Yeah, yeah,
So you have to
correct.
be
And
very
then the thing
careful and
is,
very protective way.
don't give your Aadhaar, PAN number, numbers
Right,
anywhere, except
right,
there is any some authorized this one where you have to give, like, you have to give your Aadhaar number for a voting card, then you give it. Otherwise, why should you give Aadhaar card? And also, don't give your Aadhaar Xerox to anyone so that they can take a SIM card from the out of it, and then they
right.
can do anything. So that is
Yeah,
one
your
thing.
main thing is your credential is very important. And you should be keep in any protective way. You should not
Mm,
share or get the photocopies also to anyone. Like this is very your identity. Once your identity is shared, it can be used in any way. That is a thing.
mm,
It's better
yeah,
to
and
be.
don't give. Mm. I'm
It's
just
better to be.
summarizing it. I'm
Mhm.
just summarizing it. So phone numbers, don't give your phone or devices to anybody. If you are giving your laptop or a phone to anyone, you be beside them, what they
Yes.
are doing and all. They should not download anything and install anything without your permission.
Right.
Okay. And next thing is, yeah, don't save credentials. You don't use others' devices. If you have to use your someone else device for email purpose or something like that, in such cases, you set your whatever the credential two-step verifications,
Yeah.
which
Right.
requires OTP, so
OTPs.
that
Mhm.
even if someone uses your password, they can't operate next time because it will be OTP. So that's how, and even uh, and the same thing. Don't share your password to anyone, including your family members,
Right.
unless it is like you can't go. For an example, one auntie was bedridden, but
Mhm.
she had to withdraw her amount. She doesn't know. She doesn't have this net banking facility, all the stuff. So with authorization, she trusted me and then gave a phone number. Sorry,
Mhm.
gave the debit card. I withdrew. I told change the password. I allowed her to change the password immediately over the phone so
Mhm.
that she will not suspect me at the same. That's the best thing. Like, I don't want to be suspected. I want to be
Re- recently, one experience happened with us. Like my father is from Air Force. We have visited the grocery store. That in Air Force we have a grocery store there. We have visited usually when we give our credit card or debit card to them. So there is a logic. We have to enter PIN on our own, right? It is a common standard they maintain there. But this time they have asked your PIN, and they said you don't have to enter. We have to enter. So that's very like a suspicious thing. Like why would you enter? It's our card and it's our safety kind of thing. PIN number. No, no, you have to just give PIN number and we have to enter. At that moment, we can't say no at that moment because we have to take grocery and only this card with him we have. After that, within few minutes, we have changed the PIN number from previous to new one because this is a very like privacy things because he have your pin number he can just add any number of amount either it's a government sector still the person is maybe right or wrong we have just got into the grocery store for some
Mhm.
kind of government sector it's also but still you have to be very careful in each and everywhere.
And I remember one more incident, probably some 10 years back. It was like, get together, and we ran short of cash. So I had to use this one, debit card. And the bearer came to our desk and he said, okay, give your card and I'll have to swipe it. It is in the reception or a cashier place. I said, I'm not going to give. And he asked for the password. I said, if you want, I'll come down and then type on my own. I will not share at any point of time. Though, मैडम नहीं कितना हम लोगों का हमको याद में रहता दे दीजिए. एक या दो बार एक बार दे दिया तो हो जाता है. तो I don't
Hmm.
want to suspect you. I don't want to give you. That's my defensive mechanism. बताओ किधर है रिसेप्शन या कैशियर का प्लेस, मैं उधर ही जाती हूँ. उसको ऐसा करना पड़ा कि वो वायर को दूसरे जगह में प्लग करके मेरे को देना पड़ा. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
So
sometimes.
you can't most of the people for comfort's sake they are ready to compromise with the privacy.
Yeah.
Comfort
Right,
and privacy. That's a
right.
key word over there. Don't actually.
Yeah, they have to be
You
protected in each and every way. That is only we can. Like protection is important in each and every way. We can do that. Don't share your credentials to anyone. That
Yep.
we can safeguard our privacy and identity, so that we can just save ourselves from that all scammers, either on from
Mhm.
email or from phone calls.
I want to share an example, like an experience that happened to me 2 years ago on Thanksgiving holidays. My entire salary was wiped off my account for the month, and I was so scared. But you know how it happened was my debit card. After that, I learned and experienced that whenever there's a major transaction that you do, say if you're going to the gas station or like convenience stores, I always now keep like a separate card, which is a Visa card just for expense. So even if I
Mm-hmm.
lose my card, I don't care because that card can be, I can transfer the funds. But that incident happened when went to a Walgreens, just buy some medicine, and I came back. And by the evening, I had a lot of charges. So somebody had gone on like buying alcohol, shoes, watches, like a shopping spree, and
Mm-hmm.
I was stressed. And when I started getting notification, because I had 2 point verification, like the OTP,
Right. Yeah.
that's how I learned, like at the midnight, like this fraud has happened. And immediately when I called the bank, everything was taken care of. So after cuts and balances, it was good amount, over like 2 grand that was gone from my account overnight.
Yeah.
I was
Right.
not sure how it happened, but if you go to even a convenience stores, there's like they have a magnetic strip now. So when you slide
Right.
your card, there's like a magnetic strip that actually like works as a mold that registers your number or something. I don't know, but you can't trust people when you're
Yeah,
using.
it's very, very, very scary thing. You have to be very careful when using your card outside. I just better to be cash.
Yeah,
Sometimes I just prefer to be cash. Don't use cards or kind
yeah,
of thing. Because so many frauds are coming on your way. You have to be very precautious. You just keep minimum money with you also, because
especially
you
when you're
never know what happened next with you.
traveling abroad or
Yeah,
international. It's always good to have like
right,
nothing associated to your financial institutions.
right, right.
I think
So
today.
today
Yeah.
we have a great
Yeah,
session, I
thank
guess.
you
So
so
much
much.
knowledge sharing.
I have one point.
Yes, ma.
One point. Sorry.
Yes,
Yeah,
no.
actually, we spoke about experience and also prevention measurement. I think everyone is aware if we lose or if we suspect our cards are being misused or something like that, banks are providing option to register the last, credit card
Yeah,
information so
Yeah.
that that gets blocked immediately. You can
immediately.
call
Yeah, yeah.
person. Yes.
This
Those
happened. This
facilities
happened with
are
me.
great.
This
Yeah,
happened with me also. Just very small. Just 1 minute. I will take Karuna. Because my phone was my debit card was used for some transaction, and after that I got some message of some hacker. So he just tried to you can say that transaction of some rupees just for just trying. So I got OTP at that number. I just see my number. It's for OTP for some transaction, but I have not used
yeah,
it. At the same moment, I block my card. I ordered my new card for the same bank. That is a thing I have seen, and immediately I did that,
yeah,
because this is a kind of thing you have to be very careful
yeah.
to see a messages. If you got this kind of messages, you have to be very careful.
Very
Just
careful.
block my card. Yeah, I
It's
block
like
my
a
card at the same
season.
time.
It's a
Yeah,
season, like right now here, this is like the season for a lot of hackers and people like that. Last week too, my mom had a fraud on her, senior card, and I told her, I'm like, just call the bank and see we can fight this. And of course, it's good to let banks actually investigate. This is really good thing that we can
right.
follow the paper trail and proof. But I know some countries or some agencies don't even have that facility. But no, this today we covered so much about financial frauds.
Yeah, it's very important. Interesting topic to discuss and to create awareness. That's a good thing. It's a vast subject. It's a long subject. We can cover like one by one. That's very good
Yeah,
to do. That's
Yeah.
a that's
Would
a
like to
full,
have one more session on this. I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
like
I
to learn
no,
more.
we do. We actually
yeah,
have
we will do.
we have so much more to cover, Ma. Today we want to cover based on financial. Next week we're going to cover more on other things, but it's going to be an extension of this particular subject. So yeah,
Yes.
we're going to do a longer session now, and but today we have to end this right at
Yeah,
this hour.
because
Yeah, yeah.
she have
Start
to,
your work.
yeah.
But I
Chalo.
appreciate again everybody joining in.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the
Um,
wonderful session, arranging wonderful session. Karuna,
Thanks, Ushama, for
Preeti,
joining.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Yeah,
thanks
you
so much,
again.
my
Shama.
pleasure.
Have a great day, Karuna.
Have a great day, and thank you for joining again. We will
Yeah,
continue this next week.
yeah, sure, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Have a good
Yeah,
day.
thank, yeah,
Bye.
thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks to
Have a great day.
everyone.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah, yeah.